TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas.
Listen, we are live. The Talk Show Kings are back, man.
Y'all didn't know before. You're gonna learn today.
The thing about coronavirus is it doesn't care if you're black or white.
It doesn't.
It does not care if you're rich or poor. It does not exclude if you're a Republican or a Democrat.
I'm taking it as in it becoming a hostile environment.
I couldn't even go to the restroom. I would crawl to the restroom and hold the walls to not fall off of the restroom. I couldn't stand up to get in my bed because I seriously thought I was dying.
Hey, what's going on, man? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all back to another edition of the Talk Show Kings, and the Kings are here, man. So listen, what we're gonna do is we're not gonna waste any time to jumping right into things, but before I do that, man, let me just go ahead and let the other Kings introduce themselves, and I'll introduce myself last but not least. So over here to my far left is King Trev.
Shout out, family. Peace and blessings to the whole world. It's your boy, Trevor David, a kid from Brooklyn. Shouting out my family, my loved ones, my friends. We appreciate you guys joining us. I'm happy to be here with my fellow kings, King Mel, King Mike. If you don't know, now you know. Check us out.
And I'm Mike Montgomery. Just happy to be here. Glad y'all tuning in. Look forward to a good segment today.
All right, man. So listen, this is what we're gonna do, wasting not one bit of time. What we're gonna do is jump into the first topic of the day. And the topic of the day is, the first one, should I say. It was a kid, what was it? I think it was Oklahoma, I believe, or somewhere there. He was in Oklahoma, and his teacher, a white teacher, got on him about wearing a Black King shirt, right? She went on to say that if she would have been wearing a white Queen shirt, it would have been racist. And she also went on to say that we need a White History Month. I'm just like, when you think about me and I hear that, first of all, Black History Month is the shortest month on the calendar. And we can't even have that fully to ourselves without someone saying that there should be history for another culture. When I actually would like to say, look, man, just because I'm pro-black doesn't make me anti-white. It just makes me a person who is for my tribe. That's it. But to insult somebody and say, hey, man, listen, we need a White History Month. Like, damn, where do you go with that? What do you say?
Go ahead.
Well, my belief is every month is already White History Month. I mean, the whole year is essentially riddled with the founding fathers of this country and what they supposedly did for the country. You know, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, these people are venerated all year long, and every month there is some white historical figure that is venerated and applauded and celebrated. For somebody to single out the fact that they think that there needs to be a White History Month just shows that whomever did that isn't really aware of what's going on in the country and, you know, how we are sort of brainwashed into believing and worshiping these figures of white history already. So for there to be a White History Month, what would that entail? What would a White History Month look like that it already doesn't look like?
Well, I think you said some good points. The biggest thing is that we are in indoctrination camps. You know, from the time we go from school, you know, all the way, unless you go to a HBCU, and even in sometimes in talking to my friends that are going to HBCUs, it wasn't dug deep enough into the historical facts of how blacks contributed, you know, throughout world society, not just here in the United States. And so, but when we go to school, especially in the public schools, all we hear, you know, are misinterpretations of the truth, you know, and it is being guided to the fact that, okay, a white person did this and it's been in particular white men, you know, so even white women even has some of their, you know, liberties, you know, not granted towards them. But to say white history, you know, I believe it was Portland Community College that actually had a White History Month. You know, just to point that out. So it is going on whether we like it or not.
Absolutely.
And so what it is how do we defeat that? It's not going at them. It is continuing to educate our children. It's continuing about our own history. It's continuing to educate ourselves. And until we take that point, again, we'll be looking to Massa to educate us when Massa is never going to give us the tools in order to free ourselves.
Absolutely.
Because a person in bondage is the only person that can be kept a slave, whether they're in chains or whether they're just institutionalized here in the United States.
And I had a conversation, and I was pointing you out before we started the show. It was a guy that I had a conversation with at my job, and when I was talking to him, we came to this term. You know, people always saying, "Oh, are you a Republican or are you a Democrat or whatever the case may be," right? And we came to the conclusion, like we said, whether it be the right-leaning Republicans or the left-leaning Democrats, left-wing, right-wing, it's the same bird. You're piloting the same racist, bigoted bird. And the institutionalization of slavery, right, is still here, and it's right here to this day. So when you look at that right there, and you're saying, okay, you're asking about a White History Month. You have the 4th of July, right? You have your President's Day, when all those were bigoted, but we still have to do that right there, right? You have, you celebrate people's birthdays that we really don't want anything to do with. You celebrate holidays that really have nothing to do with us, and you won't educate our kids about the evilness behind Black Friday. But yet and still, you have it to us where we are so institutionalized that we run out and shop on Black Friday when we were Black Friday. We were the reason for Black Friday, selling us and our ancestors, selling them, their kids, their husbands, their wives, their daughters at lower prices, separating families, and all of this. I mean, why do you need a White History Month? What do you need it for? Your imprint is all over this.
You know, to be honest with you, I'm not even upset that they want a White History Month. You know, and the reason why I say that is because if the shoe is on the other foot, we want to fight for more Black History Months. We want more. We say that 28 days in the leap year, 29 days is whatever is not enough. You know, my thing is that we have to do these things ourselves. Again, they're not going to change the textbooks. They're not going to do these things to teach us. It is up to us. And that's why I'm appreciative of the internet and social media, because all that information is out there now. And I know there are young people right now who are able to get, you know, a lot of this information and educate themselves through social media right now. Now it has to be, you know, sifted through to make sure the information is correct. but it is out there for us to glean, and that's something we need to just
Understood.
continue to focus on.
Yeah, I agree with you, King Mike. I think I'm not mad at any other culture or
Yeah.
any other person of any other race or nationality wanting their race or nationality to be recognized. I'm not mad at them. But like you said, I agree with you from the perspective of it's up to us. It's up to us as individuals and as a group and as a culture and as a collective to educate ourselves about whatever we want to educate ourselves about.
Understood.
We don't have to have a Black History Month. Every day can be Black History Day. But for me, I believe, people should focus on whatever it is that they want to focus on. I mean, Asian Americans, let me ask this question. Why is there no Asian American History Month? Why is there no Hispanic History Month? Why is it that we have to focus on Black History Month being one specific month and then let's forget about it? It seems to me that there's like a specific plot designed for us to focus on one of these 12 months a year where we can feel proud and feel happy and feel good about ourselves as Black people, and then when it's over, go back to the institutionalized racism that we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
I would like to say that that's financially rooted, because I'm going to tell you something. This is Black History Month. Yes, true enough. Okay, we got that part, right? This is the last day of Black History Month, right? Think about this right here. Christmas gets more airtime than what Black people have done for this country because it financially benefits them. You get what I'm saying? Nothing about Black History Month financially benefits them. Even the day of Valentine's Day gets more, is more newsworthy than Black History Month. And I will say that I believe that has largely in part to do with us, because guess what? We are allowing these things. We are continuously allowing ourselves to be imprisoned mentally with the things that we do. So we go out and do things that are not financially beneficial to us. You know what I mean? Black Friday shopping is not financially beneficial to us. Valentine's Day is nowhere near remotely close to being financially beneficial to us. Christmas is not remotely close to being financially beneficial to us. But it is beneficial to massa. And you can believe that, because the more we line their pockets, the more they keep their foot on our necks financially, like they already have it on there mentally.
Man, it's so much to unpack, in dealing with Blackness and whiteness, within this country. The reason why there's not an Asian History Month or a Latino, a Latin American, History Month is simply because there is no other group of people who has suffered, in this country throughout the years like we have. We may say Native Americans, but then if you talk to some historians, they'll say those Native Americans were also rooted from the Pangea, which started in what we now call Africa and is here in the United States, so they were Black. So there are many things that we can debate on as far as that goes. The main thing that we have to do is understand that it is called self-accountability, and it is also called self-awareness. And if we are able to be accountable to oneself, and that takes a lot of work, to say that I have it wrong or I am thinking the wrong way, because then you have to acknowledge that everything that you've been taught is a lie, which truthfully everything that we have been taught, is a lie, or it's a half truth. And I guess that you say, quote unquote, a white lie. So we have to go back and really, look at where we are individually, and then be able to move forward and progress from there. But again, that is acknowledging that this place that we live in is just an illusion, and we've been walking around like zombies and just following the Pied Piper.
Well, the winners of the wars get to write the history books. They get to decide historically what is accurate, what is not accurate. They get to whitewash things that happened in history. But I want to ask a question, and that question is, what if a group of Asian Americans or Hispanic Americans did start making noise, like this white lady in Ohio? Is that where she is?
Mm-hmm. Oklahoma.
In Oklahoma, I'm sorry. What if they did start making noise about, hey, why isn't there an Asian American History Month? Why is there not a Hispanic American History Month? What would be your response to them if they started to make that kind of noise?
I mean, that's good for them. If that's what they want to do, I don't have a problem with that. My focus is not them. My focus is, what's going on with my people. How can I be a part of the solution in order to help my people grow? Because the government is not going to help us. If you voted for Biden or if you didn't, you know what I mean? Same side of the coin as Donald Trump. Nothing is changing, under Biden. As many people, they might hate me for making that statement, but nothing is going to change. And we've already seen, some things that has shown that, it's going to be the same old, same old. And each president has shown that. So it's not anything new. And for us to think that something is actually going to change without us first making that change, in order to, it's got to be a grassroots effort. It has to come from a groundswell from below in order to make a difference up top. If we're trying to work from the top down, we don't have enough sway or cachet in that area right now. And that means economics. We don't have enough, even though we are trillion-dollar spenders, we still don't have the group economic thing together to where we're able to pool our resources.
And the group economic thing is what we were talking about when I say it doesn't benefit us financially. I have seen black-owned businesses that struggle because our people esteem other businesses higher than they esteem our own. And when they come into our businesses, they want to ask for things like the hookup and lower prices while paying whatever the other patrons may put out. They pay their prices, they don't care. You get what I'm saying? So, my good friend, my family, Pamela Washington. Hey, how you doing, Pam? And I see Big Jeff watching too. Pam says we have the tools within ourselves to educate our children about our culture.
True.
And that's what we're saying about the internet. So while we see people spending a lot of money on other things, right? When you take the time to educate your kids, about the culture and everything else is going on. I seen a meme and my cousin put up and it said they're not even little N-words. We turn them into that. They're architects and scientists and doctors and lawyers and everything. You just turn them into the little N-word by putting that out there in front of them or exposing them to that. So we have to get away from that right there because it's not good for our people and it'll never benefit us in the long run. We'll continuously be seen like that. But unfortunately right now we got to head to that first commercial break. But when we come back, man, listen, we're going to get right into some of the pros and cons of living right here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Cool.
All right?
Hi, my name is Dynasty. Welcome to TV 1061. Join our network and broadcast your event live across the continent. Come to our studio and film and stream your talk show, sitcom, showcase, and broadcast it worldwide. Combine multimedia with your live stream. Independent filmmakers, show your movie and afterwards interview your cast live. Sponsors, advertisers, I'm talking to you. This is your chance for global exposure. These are very exciting times we live in. Traditional TV is all but a thing of the past. TV 1061 is now on the Roku platform with a viewership of 46 million and counting. Roku is an industry leader in internet TV. It is the most popular and fastest growing internet TV platform. If you are interested in developing and streaming your own show or movie or coming in as a sponsor or an advertiser, please send your contact information with a short description of your interest to 1061tv@gmail.com. Thank you.
Yo, what's up, y'all? I'm Dynasty Smith, and I'm your host for The Flavor, where we're going to be showcasing some of the hottest independent artist videos from all around. So y'all tune in every Wednesday at 8 o'clock by typing into your YouTube bar, TV 1061. So if you go into your YouTube search bar, type in TV 1061 to join us every Wednesday at 8 o'clock to check out some of the hottest new independent artist videos from all over. If you want to check us out on Facebook, just type in The Flavor and you can find us on Facebook. And yo, for you artists out there, lights, camera, action. Now the camera's on you. If you want to get your video aired on The Flavor, then you need to hit us up at 1061tv@gmail.com. Send us your YouTube link, and then we'll get back to you on details on how you can be on The Flavor.
Hey, welcome back. The Kings are here, man. But before we continue into the next topic, what I want to do is we want to give a huge shout out to King Lundy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He has some medical issues going on right now, but man, listen, we want to let you know that we're here. You know what I mean? You're in our thoughts, you're in our prayers, and we hope you recover really, really soon. And when you get back, man, you know the seat is always warm for you, man. You feel me? So peace and blessings on that one. And before we jump into anything, let's give a couple shout outs to the other shows that are live on TV 1061. And if you guys want to help, you can go to the Cash App and send $1 or $500, whatever you send, we appreciate. So that's $TV 1061. You understand? And we also have on Tuesday, we have the real estate tea. So if you're trying to get in some real estate knowledge for the city of Atlanta here, man, or anywhere you're at, actually, just tune into the real estate tea. You know what I mean? That's on Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Then on Wednesday at 8 p.m. we have the flavor. You feel me? And then on 9:30 we have the playlist, so you can tune into both of those, right? And then right after we do that right there, on Friday, you know what I'm saying, you got the Life Lounge popping off at 7 p.m. And on Saturday at 3:30 p.m. you got the Conversation. You feel me? Jump in, get your points out. You have something to say, join in the conversation, tune in. The more you feedback, the better the show, you feel me? And we got the Bedroom Chronicles at 5 p.m. on Saturday. You already know what that's about. It's Bedroom Chronicles. There's some tales going on, you know? Then on Sunday at 4:30 p.m., we got the Talk Show Divas. Of course, those beautiful ladies, they're going to do their thing right before you guys get to us. Last but not least, the greatest, the Talk Show Kings here is 6:30 p.m. Y'all know to tune in. And we got you covered, man. We're going to get to it. We're going to talk about some important things. And we hope we leave you guys with more knowledge than you actually, you know what I'm saying, came here with. So that's what we're doing. Blessing your TV screen or your computer or your phone. But what you want to say about something, King Trev? I know you said you want to say something.
So regarding, we were about to change topics, but regarding the White History Month thing, in my opinion, the benefits of Black History Month are unquantifiable, kind of intangible. You can't really quantify what the benefit of it is. I have a suggestion, and that suggestion is, it relates to something you were saying earlier. Mm-hmm. What if during Black History Month, all Black-owned businesses gave Black people a discount? What if all Black-owned businesses gave you, for example, a car wash or a hair salon or a supermarket that you patronize as a Black person that's Black-owned? What if during the month of February they gave 10% off any Black person that came in to patronize their business? Does that seem like something viable to you?
I don't know if that's viable. It's a great idea, but I don't know if it's viable.
I'm suggesting that simply because of what you said. Black people don't tend to patronize
we really
businesses.
don't. But and I watched us go into other businesses where the cost I know is more than what you're gonna spend in a Black-owned business, right? And you come out of there with your bags full and expensive, and then you pass by and you try to ask them, to come in there. Nah, I'm good. Nah, I appreciate you. I'll be back. That's what we get. But again, if you're saying Black lives matter, Black businesses have to matter. The more our businesses grow, the more we won't have to go out and fill out those applications to say, are you African American or are you Black? You know what I mean?
So I know you got a comment.
No, go ahead.
My question for you is, let's say you did own your own business, clothing shop, restaurant, what have you. Would you be willing to give all Black people, any Black person that walked into your place of business, a 10% discount for a month? Would you be willing to do that?
I would be willing to do that. I would.
Okay.
Because I believe in patronizing my people's businesses, period. And I don't even believe in asking for discounts. I mean, I would do it for mine, but I don't believe in asking for discounts, because if I can pay their prices, I can pay our prices.
I guess, the difference is that there's already a misnomer that the Black business owner's product is already inferior. So to discount it is almost like discrediting the worth of that goods or service that that owner provides. As a business owner, I can't say that I would, because what I bring to the table, is just as valuable as any other person of any other race or ethnicity brings to the table. So therefore, I don't think I would do that. Maybe that'll change. I have to give that more food for thought, but there is that misnomer out there. There is that false belief that our products as Black people are inferior to other people. But I'm seeing a tide shift because of social media. I see a lot of people supporting black-owned businesses. I support other black-owned businesses,
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
online, and I plan on doing that even more,
Yeah.
where there's an avenue for me to support them. And so, as long as we continue to strive and make those inroads and make those avenues, you know, even if the product or service is, say, not as expensive or another one, or not as good as people would think and what they deem, I'm going to try it out, at least to say I gave it a fair chance, rather than saying it's not without even knowing.
I think that King Mike made a great point, which is what I was saying earlier, that they esteem other people's businesses higher than ours.
Right.
So I get where he's coming from with that. I'm not yet a business owner. I'm working on that. You feel me? But yeah, I do. But not to stay too much on the side, because we've already handled that about the White History Month. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get to living about the pros and cons of living here in the great city of Atlanta. So, King Trevor.
Okay, well, for me, I moved here about 4 years ago, and I didn't know anything about Atlanta other than it was a black city, a southern city, but I didn't know anything about it, didn't know what to expect. When I first got here, I wasn't a big fan of Atlanta, but it takes a minute to acclimate to any new place that you're living, and you're used to where you used to live, and it's difficult to acclimate sometimes. So some of the cons about Atlanta that I found incredibly frustrating, the number one was, why is every street here named Peachtree? Like, what's up with that? Every other street, Peachtree Boulevard, Peachtree Street, Peachtree. I mean, this is a small complaint, but it is a complaint.
To answer your question, you have to understand that Georgia is known as the Peach State.
Okay.
So when the city is known as the Peach State, then everything about it is probably gonna say something. I forgot how many peach or something with peach in it. I forgot how many streets there are in the state of Georgia with peach in it, but boy, they don't play about that. They don't play about that.
Yeah.
What do you think about it, King Mike?
Well, as far as pros, being here in Atlanta, number one, gosh, that airport. I love to travel. I'm a travel guy. So having the busiest airport in the world, makes a lot of difference when you can catch direct flights to just about any place in the world, where Delta, and some of the other airlines fly. So in the airport, I think is the second largest employer, behind Emory University.
Okay.
So that's a lot of people. But when you start combining all of the airlines and you start combining all of the freight delivery that flows through there and all of the auxiliary, the airport is what put Atlanta on the map.
Okay.
That is the reason why we had the Olympics. That is the reason why we're known as the international city and a city that's too busy to hate. So the airport is number one, for me. But then you also have where, yes, you talked about it, where DC used to be Chocolate City. That title needs to go to Atlanta. And not only because of the sheer density of black people here, but black people that are accomplishing much, is here in Atlanta. No matter what industry you go in, I find it great because I travel to many of the cities across the country, and I can go to a fine dining establishment or stay at a certain hotel, and I may see one or two black people. But you come here in Atlanta, I don't care if you're at the Four Seasons, the St. Regis, I don't care, the Ritz-Carlton, you're gonna see, black people there. And that's what I love, being able to see the representation of me in leadership as well as, just around the city.
And that is one of the pros of living in Atlanta, that you will see a lot of people that look just like you. The chances of you getting a job here and you are black or whatever, landing a job somewhere, it really is exponentially increased because Atlanta is a black city. So, we got King Lundy's online. He's looking at us. He said, black business leaders should support the black dollar within our communities, and we all can lift each other up, basically. And that's a good thing. We can do that as long as we stick to the script and know exactly, listen, we need to support one another.
Right.
That's a big thing. He also went on to say Atlanta is the black mecca for social change. That's why 65% of the people that live in Atlanta are not from here. So it is a mecca for us, That is one of the great things about Atlanta. Like you said, you've seen Emory is the major employer. There's the airport, there's the sports arena, there's the bars, there's the restaurants, there's the car dealerships. We're all over. We are here. And from the looks of it, we're only gonna grow even more. We're not going anywhere. So therefore I do that. But one of the cons The cons of that is the Atlanta traffic. Oh my! If you travel between 3:30 and 7, man, listen. I don't know how you do it. If I don't have to, I'm not gonna do it. COVID may have eased some of that with people not going anywhere, but before COVID hit, your 20-minute commute somewhere could turn into an hour and a half, easy, no problem. And that's barring without any accidents.
So let me ask a question about that. Like, you know, me coming from a city where the transportation system is ubiquitous, it's everywhere. What's up with MARTA? MARTA hardly goes anywhere. And I've heard, the little bit of research I've done, is that people that are, you know, a little bit beyond where MARTA stops, they do not want MARTA in their neighborhoods.
I've heard that before,
and
too.
that's part of it. It's political. And so you have the 13 counties that kind of make up metropolitan Atlanta. Whoever you talk to, sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. You know, but Douglas County, Cobb County has its own transit. Gwinnett has, you know, something like that. It's only DeKalb and really Fulton that play together, and sometimes Clayton, but then that becomes an issue as well. It is where our city leadership and our county leadership has to get together in order to create that plan. I think Governor Nathan Deal, before he left office, he put some resources aside for the counties to create that plan. But you're still talking about, this is probably another 20 years down the road. They've been talking about some regional transportation since I've been here, and I've been here 22 years. So I don't see that changing right now.
I've seen some of the places where they were talking about expanding and everything. But I mean, with the expansion of MARTA being what you said, right, and the leadership and everything else, do you think that the reason that others don't want it there is because they feel like the value of their area will come down because unwanted citizens, as they are going to call it, may not be wanted to be, or their towns, it may seem poor or something like that if you have that there? Because if you think about it, a lot of people, and even though it's not true, they say a lot of poor people who can't afford transportation take MARTA. Some people do the commute because they don't want to put the mileage on their car.
True.
You know, this is considered a hazardous driving city because it's so much wear and tear on your brakes and tires. You have to stop, go constantly. You and I and King Trevor have both experienced this. You press your brakes a lot in the traffic in Atlanta, period.
So my question is, I mean, I know in the last 10 or so years, the population here in Atlanta has doubled. I'm hearing and reading that in the next 10 years, it's going to double again. Does Atlanta have the infrastructure to be able to deal with another 5 million people moving here in the next 10 years?
No. And neither am I trying to figure out what we're going to do with it.
That was my question.
But the question is no. The question is no.
That's really
We didn't have the infrastructure to support the 7 million people that are in Metro Atlanta right now. You know, and that's where we have the growing pains that have come from a city that attracts, you know, lots of young people, you know, and also people who are escaping the West and the East from all of the, you know, the pricing, the housing pricing, you know, the cost of living, you know, in those cities, where Atlanta, being in the South, is more affordable, even though it is a top 10 media market, top 10 population within the country. So jumping to what you were talking about, it is a component where race is an issue because when you start having transportation that can reach in each part, that means now people have access.
Exactly. It empowers people.
Right.
And it levels the playing field.
It starts leveling the playing field. If you want to keep the have-nots still having not, you don't give them access.
Exactly.
And so when you start giving access, now people have ways to do things that they never did before and to be able to take advantage of it. I don't see it happening right now. And again, like you said, that's another 20 years. I might be dead and gone by the time there is a regional transit system that benefits all of the metropolitan Atlanta.
But being that Atlanta is, quote unquote, a black city, right? The thought of someone you know, being scared that there's a race of people, their county or their city is going to be invaded by someone who they don't want out there, right? That's a terrible way to think, especially when you think about it, that if this comes out there, right, this not only brings more business opportunity to your city, right, where you have poorer counties and things of that nature. If you have transit out there, there can be more hiring. People can get to jobs. People can build more. You get what I'm saying? There can be more construction things going on. Because right now, if you go through Atlanta, all across, you find construction everywhere. And it's been going on for years. They started the construction in Cobb County for the new station, the new Brave Stadium, right? They started the construction on that road way before, you know, the stadium was built. But it's still going on right now. But like I said, if you have more people that can reach these areas, the more jobs you can have. So if you're afraid of opportunity, say that, because it's not the people. People are looking for jobs, but yet they're complaining about having the resources to be able to create more jobs. I'm not understanding.
Well, we covered this last week when we, you know, the statement was made that he or she, whoever controls the media, controls the message. And so there's always this fear, you know, that is placed out there that if you allow certain people here, this is going to happen. You know, if you allow certain people there, this is going to happen. You know, so as long as the media keeps pushing out the negative narratives about people entering into other areas and about people, you know, you would think that, you know, black people are bopping people over the head, busting people in the head, you know, every other day to take something. That's not the case, but that's what you hear over and over again. You know, so that narrative has to change. And again, that's something that we take self-accountability for, you know, and we make that happen and make that change. But again, that narrative is still out there. And that has to change. And if it doesn't change, we're still going to be dealing with these issues over and over.
We also have where King Lundy says, he just said MARTA is controlled mainly within the Republican Party. So out of the 159 counties in Georgia, Fulton County government makes MARTA powerless within the infrastructure process. Now, that's crazy, and that's some crazy good information. But unfortunately, we got to go to break, so we'll pick right back up on this topic when we come right back. And once we round it out, we'll jump right into something else. But you guys stay tuned. Talk Show Kings, you know what I mean? Peace and blessings. Be right here, man. See y'all when you come back.
Today's world exposes our youth to life experiences that are well beyond that which their years should allow. Violence, trauma, poverty, injustice. Our children's lives and their livelihoods are in constant danger. Wisdom, Inc. is a community-based organization designed to save young lives by reducing violence and assisting youth in their personal development. Wisdom stands for wise individuals structuring and developing youthful minds. Through our collective wisdom, we can change lives for the better. Wisdom, Inc. Reducing violence, developing youth, saving lives.
Welcome to Burke's Jewelry. How may I help you?
We're looking for engagement rings.
We offer a wide selection. However, I believe we have just what you're looking for. Burke's Jeweler is your family's jeweler at 491 Flat Shoals Avenue Southeast, Atlanta, Georgia 30316 in East Atlanta Village.
Hi, I'm Harry Lennox, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network.
Hi, I'm Michael Cowell, your funniest man on the planet, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network. Stay tuned, because that's how they do it over here. Big time party! All right, see y'all later. Bye. Hi,
Listen, we are live. The Talk Show Kings are back, man.
Y'all didn't know before. You're going to learn today.
The thing about coronavirus is it doesn't care if you're black or white.
It doesn't.
It does not care if you're rich or poor. It does not exclude if you're a Republican or a Democrat.
I'm taking it as in it becoming a hostile environment.
I couldn't even go to the restroom. I would crawl to the restroom and hold the walls to not fall off of the restroom. I couldn't stand up to get in my bed because I seriously thought I was dying.
Hey man, what's up? Welcome back. Talk Show Kings back for this final segment here. What we're gonna go ahead and do, we're gonna jump right back into these pros and cons of living in Atlanta, man. So, King Mike.
Oh, for another, I guess you could say, a con, because we were talking about some of the pros, but a con is what Dallas just suffered from and what we suffered from about 5 or 6 years ago is when the ice and snow comes. We're not prepared for that. And we see how that shuts us down as a city. So that's one of the biggest issues that I have, with that as far as the con goes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, you have mentioned earlier that you feel like Atlanta is an international city based on the fact that the airport is here, the biggest airport in the country, right? The busiest airport in the country.
In the world.
Between
I don't personally feel like Atlanta is an international city. I mean, that's based on having lived in New York and other places. But I don't really get the feeling of an international city here. And for me, that's one of the pros of living here. I like the fact that Atlanta feels to me like a small town or a whole bunch of little small towns connected by the fact that we all live in Atlanta. But I don't see it as being a really international city. I still think it has, for me anyway, like a southern charm kind of appeal to it, and I find that to be a pro of living here. But you like you said, you think it's international. What?
Well, if you're going to compare it to New York or LA, yes, it's not going to look international. Right. It has its own unique feel to it, and that is why it draws people to Atlanta, the unique feel that it has. But when I'm saying international is that when the Olympics came, that drew more, notoriety.
That put the spotlight on us.
That put the spotlight on Atlanta, and it was an international spotlight. So then you started having more international corporations moving their headquarters here, to Atlanta.
And there's more moving.
And they're coming, and more and more coming.
Right? It was 96 Olympics over here, right?
It was 96.
I wasn't here. I'm a Florida boy. I was still in Florida then. I moved to Atlanta almost 13 years ago. You know what I mean?
What brought you here?
Oh man, I needed to get away, man. I had recently had gotten out of incarceration, and I wanted a change. I could feel myself getting right back into some things that would have probably landed me in prison for a very long time. And when I got a chance to make a change, then thank God it came along, you know what I mean? No, I wasn't the quote-unquote kingpin or the biggest drug dealer, but, going to prison just had me like, I'm not trying to go back there. You feel me? Just like, I'm good. I moved here, and I've been doing okay ever since, you know what I mean? But my thing is, like you said, an influx more of 5 million more people, we're not even equipped to deal with the little bit of snow that we had that 1 year. I'm not even a snow person. I'm from Florida, so if it's snowing anywhere, I'm not trying to be there unless I'm going to visit for like a ski vacation in Colorado or something. But as far as that being concerned here in Atlanta, that's not good. The infrastructure for that, it's not ready yet. However, the infrastructure it is ready for is the film industry here in Atlanta. Now, that's what it's ready for. And we do have a film industry here that's right now, it's probably if it's not number one, but it is number 2, I believe, like number 2 or 3. Am I correct?
Right now in Atlanta is the number 1 location in the world for the number of productions going on right now. Now, it's not the number 1 in terms of revenue generated yet. New York and Cali are still ahead. But right now there are 50 films and TV shows and pilots and series shooting here in Atlanta. Atlanta generated almost 400 films, TV shows, and pilots last year. $3 billion for the state last year. It's crazy. It's blowing up here right now.
So what do you think is causing this right here major surge in the film industry here in Atlanta?
It was the tax credits. The tax credits was the main thing that allowed, the movie industry, the television industry to move into the Georgia area. And they've done a very, very good job. And although on the front end it might look like, okay, we're losing money, per se by offering the tax credits, but the amount of revenue that is generated when you start talking about the hotels, when you start talking about the restaurants in all these areas when there's filming going on, that has generated a lot of revenue. So it's been very beneficial, because of the tax credits.
Question for you, King Mike. Explain the tax credit system to a brother that just does not understand that. I know that the state offers these production companies 30% tax credits, but what does it actually mean?
Make
What does
that
it translate
too,
to?
because I don't understand
Well,
it.
what that means, and I can't say I'm the most educated on it, but what that means is, say you're in California where you're not getting those tax credits, and it's going to cost you X amount of dollars, you know, in order to produce that film. Where if you're getting, say it cost $1 million, where if you're getting a 30% tax break on that instead of $1 million, and now you're paying $700,000 in order to make that film, you're saving $300,000 with that tax break. So that $300,000 is a lot of money, and we know that those productions cost more than $1 million to shoot.
And that means you can add even more production quality and generate more revenue from your film.
Yes, all it is going to attract more people, more production, more businesses, more jobs to this area, and that's where the revenue generation comes in and able to help a bunch of people. So you have, shout out to Tyler Perry Studios that is able, you know, to build itself right where I believe it was Fort McPherson was. But then you have, I'm forgetting the name, but Pineville or Pinewood. Down in Fayetteville, which is the largest, I believe, outside of Hollywood, you know, largest production studio. Then you have the new one, Three Rings, out in Covington. And there are a host of other studios that are located throughout Atlanta that you can just stumble upon. And so that it is going to continue to grow because of those tax credits. And it's going to continue to shine a spotlight on Atlanta, which, you know, again, makes it an international city where you don't want to have a film.
So not only do you have the film industry right here, you also have the music industry that's really, you know, right now Atlanta is music pretty much. You know, you're getting a lot of production out of a lot of major artists. So if you're into music and you're into film, Atlanta is the place to be. If you have a resume set up to where you've done this, you've done that, and you know your work ethic speaks for itself, this is the place to be. You're missing out if you're not. You know, right now they were filming something downtown. You know, they were filming something downtown. It was to a point where I know some lady that likes to go and get products from down there for her business and everything. They couldn't even get down there because, you know, it's taking so long and it's holding up so much traffic. But again, you know, this, like you said, this is Atlanta. This is a major hub right now for film, for music, as well as travel. And I think, if it wasn't last year, the year before last, Atlanta was the busiest airport in the world for like 2 or 3 years running, even over Chicago O'Hare.
Yeah, you know, the film and television industry, it seems mysterious to a lot of people how to get involved in it. You know, people think of it as Hollywood, and we are not in Hollywood. There are many different aspects of the film and TV industry that people could get involved in other than being an actor or a producer or a director or a writer. I mean, there are literally thousands of different kinds of jobs in the film and TV industry that if people are interested in getting involved in, that they can take a part in, such as catering. These shows, they need food. The actors need food all day long. Catering is a really, really lucrative industry. Wardrobe, fashion, lighting, transportation, makeup. There are all kinds of different ways that you can get involved in this film and TV industry above and beyond wanting to be an actress or an actor or a writer or a producer. And that's another reason why I think, you know, the film and TV industry here in Atlanta is perfect for, you know, people who are creative, people who want to get started in doing something in media. Atlanta is the perfect place to be right now.
Yeah. So basically what you're saying is there are a lot of opportunities and you don't have to just stick yourself to just one thing. Try multiple. You may have multiple different ways, and one of those ways may be the way into it for you. So you don't have to just be an actor or a musician or anything. You may just get it by your food. You may have wonderful food, and because you have such wonderful food and you cater to a film or something that's being filmed, that passing by right there, what was that truck? What did that sign say? People will go right back and to that specialty and to see exactly what the name or number was on that truck, and boom, just like that, people are flooding your inbox, they're flooding your phone, their messages, text messages, phone calls, and everything else, and your food is out there. It's known just like that. So, and just like that, we have to go to commercial again, but when we come back, we're gonna round up the show for you guys, man, but We hope you guys are enjoying so far. If there are any questions, get live, get active. You got some topics for us? Point those topics out. Give us suggestions, and we're the Kings. We're going to talk about it just for you, all right? We'll see you guys in a few. Talk Show Kings, baby.
Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Elmer Horn with Douglas County Sheriff's Office, and we're here at one of our communities, and Sheriff Pounds is here with us. And Sheriff Pounds is very involved in his communities, and he come out. We brought out our grill and our smoker so we can come out and help cook for this community. And Sheriff Pounds himself has come out and helped cook with us, and he's here to cook and help these folks today.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the programs that I call Taking My Community Back. If you don't get out there and get involved in your community, you ain't gonna be able to get it back. And the sad part about it, we losing our young men at such a pace that it's unreal. We got to come up with something that will help us with these children. Got to. So this is what I'm doing. I love it. I'm out here in the sun. It's hot, but like I said earlier, we're gonna do these until we get that gap between law enforcement and the community bridge. We're gonna bridge that gap because we're gonna get out of here, we're gonna shake hands, we're gonna find out if they got any kind of problem we can assist them with, and invite them to the sheriff's office and come to the roll call. Just come see what's going on at the office. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you, Sheriff Pounds. And like I said, this is just one of many events that we bring this grill out to help with our communities and get involved. I'm here.
Hey man, listen, welcome back, man. We have the Talk Show Kings here. We have myself, we have King Trevor, we have King Mike, and right now, King Lundy is out, but he'll be back, man. So listen, I know you guys see us on here, you hear us talking and everything else. Talk Show Kings, man, it's coming. We're about to get branded, but sometimes it's gonna take a brand strategy and a brand strategist. So with that being said, I don't know much about brand strategy or a brand strategist, but King Mike does. Go ahead and tell us more about it, King Mike.
Well, I can't say that I am the foremost authority on it, but one of the things that I've been excited that I've seen, I guess you could say over the past decade, that social media has really evolved, is allowed, you know, the average person without all the resources of a conglomerate to be able to brand themselves as an expert in a certain area. And so, you know, for us, you know, we're looking for, you know, individuals that can assist with that brand strategy. And so we look forward to that. So that is going to allow us to move on to the next space, take it to the next level, so you can say that we get active, you know, here, not only on this platform, but in other platforms, you know, in order to enhance our product that we are able to give to you all. So we appreciate the viewers that we currently have right now, and knowing that is going to continue to grow. You know, so even though the brand is going to continue to evolve and change, we're looking at the different avenues that we can do it. So any suggestions, we're up for that as well, and we appreciate all of you for tuning in.
King Mel,
what's up?
If you were the brand strategist for Atlanta, the city, how would you promote Atlanta? If you were strategizing to promote Atlanta and to brand the city, what would you brand Atlanta as?
Man, if I had to brand Atlanta as a city, man, I would brand Atlanta as a place where you can make it. You know, you don't have, there are so many different avenues here, and I know that a lot of people see Atlanta and hear about Atlanta, and a lot of people come for the parties and they come for the strip clubs and all of that right there, but it's so much more to Atlanta, you know. I come from a really small town called Wielaka, Florida, right? Capital W-E-L-A-K-A. That's Wielaka. I moved to Miami when I was young. Wielaka had an aquarium. We had what we called an aquarium, and the fish hatchery. You could go in the aquarium, and when you go in the aquarium, right, you can stand there, and the end was right there. So here's what happens, right? I come to Atlanta and go to the aquarium, and I realized something.
Y'all didn't have an aquarium.
No, Atlanta's aquarium makes the little aquarium where I come from, it makes it look like you went to the fair and caught one of those single goldfish in the bag. That's what I was walking around with as an impression. But what I'm saying is, here in Atlanta, man, market wherever. I wouldn't care if it's online, on a food truck, on shirts and t-shirts, billboards, platforms. Market Atlanta as a place where, yeah, Atlanta is the city of where I would like to say Barack Obama's mantra was, yes, we can.
Okay, the city of opportunity.
Yes.
How about you, Mike? What would you, if you were Atlanta's PR agent, Atlanta's brand strategist, how would you position Atlanta in the market?
No different than what Brother King Mel was saying. It is the city of opportunity. And there's opportunity no matter what industry you're looking at, no matter what you're trying to do. There's entrepreneur. To me, the key to financial stability, the key to financial wealth, the key to independence is through entrepreneurship. Yes, you can do it by working a 9-to-5. Nobody is knocking that at all, because not everybody's going to be an entrepreneur. But I think the opportunities are there for you to be your own boss and for you to employ other people, in order to help them as well. And I believe that is where Atlanta is, and that is the opportunities that lie.
That is big. And listen, Atlanta, I'm just want to go ahead and give a shout out to a young man that I work with, number 3 running back in the whole state of Georgia, Jaden Bolton, right? He's got a full ride scholarship to the University of Georgia. So, Atlanta is big on football. So to be the number 3 running back in the state, you have to have put in some work. So, I want to give a shout out to him because I'm watching this young man. He not only works, he has a full ride scholarship, but football isn't his dream. He wants to work in sports science, sports medicine, and sports science. So, this is me like, wow. So you're really not just basing your talents upon football. You know what I mean? So we give a shout out to those people who are making it, to all those young entrepreneurs, those with ideas. Listen, like you said, brand strategists, we're looking for it. Designers, you have suits, you have clothing, you're trying to get your name out there. We're looking for you. Come, we will do it. We are the Talk Show Kings, man. We are a group of gentlemen who we carry ourselves as the kings we are. We have pride, we have class, we are dignified. So with that being said, you know what I'm saying?
You my man, and I'm living in some other city in the country, right? I'm living in Detroit, New York, LA, Miami. I call you up one day and I say, yo, King Mel, I'm thinking about moving to Atlanta. Give me one good reason why I should. Give me your number 1 favorite, best reason why you think I should move to this city.
If I had to give you the number 1 best reason why to move to this city right here, man, for me, it's the damn aquarium. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Listen, once you've been to the aquarium, right? Listen. I walked through the aquarium like this here. I've not been in wonderment like that since I was a child. The hell? This is a tunnel with then that big ass window at the end, that big glass window. You're like this right here. I'm looking at a stingray like this here. That's huge. Why would you want to swim with that? Who wants to be in the water with it? But it's a wonderful thing. In other words, all I'm saying is if you want to move to Atlanta, move here for the opportunity, move here for the experiences, and if you're from up north, you're moving here because the housing prices are a lot better. I seen y'all stuff online up north. Y'all buying apartments for $500,000. They're not doing that here in Atlanta. At $500,000, you can get a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom house with a finished basement and some land.
How about you, King Mike? What is your number 1? Yo, Mike, I got to get out of here, man. I'm living in LA. It's too expensive. Why should I come to LA?
You come to Atlanta.
Oh, why should I come to Atlanta? My
I tell you what, I tell you reason to go to LA, but to come to Atlanta, it is self-representation, and I believe that if you look at white America and what we've been talking about, hiring practices, you hire people that look like you. It's a subconscious thing, that think like you, that have the same values as you, the perceived things. Same thing when there's self-representation, there are other people that look like me. So therefore, the perception, and it should be the reality, is that they will be willing to give me more of a chance, more of an opportunity,
because you look like them.
Because I look like them. And that has been the case. Networking is real big in Atlanta, and you have to get out. Whether you're an introvert or I'm really on borderline introvert, extrovert, so me getting out and meet people, it drains me. But it definitely, that's where opportunities lie.
Absolutely. For me, the number one reason to move here is just what King Mel said, strictly the affordability of housing. It's just, you can get a place to rent, you can get a place to live, and it's not going to bankrupt you, and you can live in Atlanta without having to worry on a day-to-day basis about, am I going to be able to pay my rent? Am I going to be able to pay my house note? For me, it's the affordability of housing.
You know, all jokes aside, I said the aquarium and everything. You know, yeah, the aquarium is beautiful and everything. But man, if you really, really just have to put it all into perspective, look, Atlanta is considered a black city, you know? And when you see a lot of people that look like you, it makes you more comfortable to be able to go out and about. Yeah, every place has its, you know, has its kinks and hiccups and everything else. We understand that. But what I do know is, there are not many places that you're gonna go, like you're seeing us right now. There are 3 brothers. Everybody's from different backgrounds. We all have differences of opinions, but we come together like kings and we bring it to people each and every Sunday. And we do this because we have love for our tribe. We do this because we have love for our community. We do this because we have love and respect for ourselves. So if anything, if you're looking to build anything, they used to call, what was it? Was it Chicago? Was it Windy City? Well, Philadelphia was the city of brotherly love, right?
Love, yeah.
This right here, this is the new chocolate city. This is the new city of brotherly love. Atlanta is a black city, man. And if you come here, you come in here to make it because you definitely believe that somewhere in the midst of all of this, there's an opportunity for you to be great as a black man. Point blank.
Cool.
So, what do you guys want to end this with?
Well, you know, I just want to say I appreciate you guys watching the show. We'll be here every Sunday, Talk Show Kings, myself, King Trev, King Mike, King Mel. King Lundy is not with us today, but he's with us in spirit as usual. I appreciate you guys spending some time with us. We'll be here next week again. Shout out everybody watching the show, my daughters, my son, my family, everybody in Atlanta, in Florida, in New York, in Cali. Shout y'all out. Peace and blessings. Trevor David, we'll see y'all next week.
All right, King Mike, thanks for tuning in. We look forward to the topics. We look forward to your online interactions, therefore that we can answer those questions and engage you live on TV.
And I am King Mel, and I want to give a shout out to my children. I love you guys. Maya, Ty, Serenity, you guys are wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And I do this for you guys, and we're gonna make it. This is gonna become a huge platform, I'm sure of it. And you guys will be the beneficiaries of all Daddy's hard work. Hopefully seeing me do this one day when you look back will allow you guys to continue to be able to strive, educate yourselves, never be afraid to be who you are. You know, you are a melanated being, a melanated king and melanated queens. That's what my kids are, period. So with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. Shouts out to Florida, Wielaka, Miami. Shout out to Mr. Felix Washington back there doing the thing that he does best, and that's providing us with a platform. Shout out to Miss Shantae Barksdale, our media conglomerate who does the things for us and pushes this out there. We thank you. Jason Pulley, one of our technical guys, he's not here today, but hey man, we appreciate you. And again, King Lundy's not here, but hey, we're holding the fort down for you, King. Get better. You know where we are. You know how to reach out. And with that being said, man, Talk Show Kings out. For real. It's always love. And that's what we're doing, baby.
Peace.
Peace.
Listen, we are live. The Talk Show Kings are back, man.
Y'all didn't know before. You're going to learn today.
The thing about coronavirus is it doesn't care if you're black or white.
It doesn't.
It does not care if you're rich or poor. It does not exclude if you're a Republican or a Democrat.
I'm taking it as in it becoming a hostile environment.
I couldn't even go to the restroom. I would crawl to the restroom and hold the walls to not fall off of the restroom. I couldn't stand up to get in my bed because I seriously thought I was dying.